Dave Womack with you here, and we really wanted to come at you and shoot a video talking about some serious lessons we learned while we were over at Cascadia Tactical in Kent, Washington, which is a simunitions training facility. If you don't know what simunitions are, it's essentially real handguns and rifles, but loaded with fake rounds that shoot tiny little paint pellets to simulate a painful experience if you do it wrong, right?
It does hurt a little bit when you get hit, so
yeah.
Lessons learned.
So we wanted to share a story with you from there. I wanted to share one, and that is I was simulating I don't want to spoil it if you go to the class, but I was simulating an experience, and I guess I'm going to show clips, so it doesn't matter. But getting robbed at an ATM, a stick up at an ATM, and in this experience, what happened is my gun malfunctioned. It went into what is called a type 3 malfunction, and that is the hardest one to clear. And because I had not practiced clearing this type 3 malfunction, I really lost my ability to think, and I literally ran right over to one of the guys that were holding me up and let him shoot me point blank. I literally ran into him trying to get away from the situation. It was like my brain turned off. And so I thought what would be really helpful is, boy, I need to make sure that when my gun malfunctions, I reflexively, without even thinking about it, can identify what just happened wrong and subconsciously get it back in order and get it into the fight, with the hopes that if that happens to me again, I will at least get my gun back in the fight instead of running around the chicken with my head cut off like I did in the class. So I thought that we would do that.
And I had a similar experience there. I actually, from doing the no flinch drill, we instinctively worked on tap the bottom to make sure your mag's seated, ratchet it back to clear it, and then shoot. And so I had the same thing happen in one of the scenarios. It went bang, click. And I looked, did tap, rack, and shoot because of the training we've already done that you saw with Jamie, and it was instinctive. I didn't even think about it. However, in another scenario, we were in kind of an apartment, and I got one shot off, and there were two guys, so I hit one of them, but the other guy was still there, and sure enough, he just walks around the corner and goes bam, and kills me. And the problem was I had a different type of malfunction, so it went click. I tried to tap and rack like I'd trained, and it didn't clear the jam because it was not that type.
Because tap and rack doesn't fix all malfunctions. So we thought we'd come at you and explain how a drill that we're kind of going to think of here, where we actually, using a partner, load our partner's gun with a malfunction. We'll have our eyes closed, and on the beep to a timer, we'll come up, we'll press the trigger, and something will go wrong. And we will identify what goes wrong, clear the malfunction, and then get a shot off on the steel target that we have, and see if we can improve our time and how fast we can do that with practice. All right, I got the nerd glasses on and the ears, so if I'm talking loud to the camera or I look a little funny, it's because I'm going to be putting some live rounds in a magazine. I want to show you the 3 different malfunctions that I will be loading for my brother. Now, what I have with me here for the type 1 malfunction is to simulate a dead round. And how we do that is we are going to, for this drill, put one live round in first, then we're going to put a snap cap in, and we will, on an empty gun, you will put the magazine into the gun and ratchet it forward. So what's going to happen is when I hand my brother this gun, and he won't know that I've given him this, he will be set up for a type 1 malfunction, and you'll get to see how he clears it. For the second type of malfunction, how you set it up is you insert a loaded magazine into the gun, and you take the round and you put it in the chamber, pinching it shut, to simulate what they call a stovepipe, which is the brass is failing to eject out of the port. The third type of malfunction I'll be handing to my brother is first, on an empty gun, inserting a round into the chamber, and then I will take a magazine, insert it into the gun, and close the gun to the side. This is, I don't know officially what this is called, but Front Sight, where I learned this, a training academy, calls this a type 3, which is where you have a round still in the chamber and another one behind it trying to get in. This is the one that got me at the simunitions class in Cascadia, Washington, and there's a process for how to clear this. that we're going to be practicing today.
Press. Type 3, 7.23 seconds. Press.
Press.
Type 2, 3.99 seconds.
Took me a second to register it.
Type 3, 7.63.
A little slower, huh?
.78.
So that was a pretty interesting drill. I have to admit, that one challenged me a little bit. With a little bit of repetition there, I didn't shoot too many shots. I was able to shave a little bit more than a second off of that type 3 malfunction drill. But you could probably see in the video, my brain freezes. I look at this thing in my hand and I can't, there's so many options, you know. Is it a type 1, a type 2, a type 3? Did I get a click on the gun? Did it have a trigger? What do I do? And it needs more work for sure to really understand how to do it. But go research how do you clear your type 1s, your type 2s, and your type 3s. And then I think this drill is a great way. Maybe we'll put a resource to where you can look, some links to where you can look at how to the right way to clear those malfunctions. But I was only able to shave a second off, and this needs to get to the point where I'd imagine I need to get much closer to maybe like 5 seconds, another second off at least, and it goes a lot faster off that type 3 and the others as well. But until I can clear those on automatically be clearing them when I see the problem and getting the gun back into the gunfight, I'm not yet happy with this drill. And the other thing that I did that maybe you noticed when I was first doing the type 3s, I didn't know what to do with the extra magazine. So not thinking, I stuffed it in between my legs. But really, if I was running for cover, realizing this is going to take 5 seconds plus 6 seconds, 7 seconds to get back in a gunfight, and I'm running for cover, I can't have the magazine between my legs, so I stuffed it under my arm. Thought that maybe was a better place where I could still keep my eyes up, although I did a bad job of that, you'll probably see in the video. But where I can keep that magazine under control while I'm manipulating the gun, getting it back and ready to go. So a couple things that I learned. This is one that'll work the kinks out. I highly recommend you try it, and please leave me some feedback and let me know how this drill worked for you, maybe some of your times and how much you improved. It'll be fun to see.